primary. There's a Libertarian candidate who's hopes to run in November, excuse me, and severance tax, Medicaid expansion, these are issues that some conservative Republicans are unhappy with you on. Do you feel that you have a base problem? And when you're campaigning for re-election this year, what are you going to tell conservative Republicans?
Well, Henry,
bring up complaints about Medicaid expansion.
Yeah. Well, look, I've been out all, making a number of talks, which I traditionally do, and they've gone. I think, from what I hear, it's hard for me to judge because I'm the one singing. When you're singing in the opera, you can go backstage and say, "Well, I really did great." Well, you got to hear what other people think about what you had to say. And I've been very pleased with the feedback that I've received. But Henry, I know you're a political reporter. That's your job. Let me see if I can explain this to you. Haven't you figured out now, after 3 years, that I don't sit around doing political calculations about what I think I need to do? We're in the process right now of building the most real and significant improvements in set-asides this state has ever seen, with goods and services, and we are currently working through how to include minorities that reflect the community, particularly in Cleveland, with our highway construction. Nobody's done that in this state. It's right. Making sure that mentally ill are not living under a bridge or being put in a jail cell, that's what we need to do. Making sure that drug-addicted people can get rehabbed and get their lives back, and that working poor can have the people who are working. And by the way, we need a lot of welfare reform, because welfare ought to be a way station and not a way of life. The fact that we put in a third-grade reading guarantee that causes, in some places, a ruckus. Henry, when you're in these jobs, do it to your best and do it strong. And let the chips fall where they may. I don't think about that. And the reason why I don't is because, I served 4 years in the legislature. It's where I wrote my first budget against Republicans who wanted to raise taxes. I spent all that time in Congress reforming the Pentagon. That made me very popular with Republicans. We got the budget balanced, and when I left, I had no regrets. The worst thing in politics is to leave with, why didn't I do something? So Henry, if I'm spending my time with my finger in the air or looking at polls, those are as fleeting as the snow will be on Saturday. It's going to be 40-some degrees and we're going to have rain, so I'm thinking about getting my golf clubs out. So Henry, it's not what I think about. I'm not going to do things that are just reckless, but I'm going to do what I think I need to do. What my heart, my head, the people around me, my advisors, we talk about these things. One other thing I wanted to tell you, that I am a conservative. I'm one of, some governors in this country. I have a right to lead, too. I have a right to shape what conservative philosophy means. I have a right to move forward with programs that I think maybe in the short term may not be that popular, but in the long term may yield an awful lot of good. Why not? Why would I not do that? Why would I not speak out? Why would I not talk about the fact that I'm concerned about the drug addicted, the mentally ill, or the poor? Why wouldn't I do that? Because somebody's not going to be happy about it? I know who is happy about it, and that's who I report to. So, Henry, that's just the deal. And I know it's hard to believe. And I'm not telling you that we don't have political considerations on some things. Of course we do, but that's about doing it right. You've all had a chance to watch us for 3 years. We don't dish out pork. We try to do our best on policy, even if it aggravates people in our own party. That's what we do. And that's why the administration remains strong, because people realize that we're kind of doing the right things. Are we saints and angels, and do we get it all right? Of course we don't. We're all living in the Tower of Babel. We're all flawed. But we're we're doing the best we can, Henry. I'm glad you asked the question.
Thank you.